Just talk a little bit about what you miss without having Parsons and Lawrence, and what that does to how you approach them.
Yeah, they're two dynamic guys, obviously, good leaders, good team guys. So we'll have to make some adjustments and see how that goes. But we got confidence in the guys behind them, and if they don't play, so we'll just keep. We're just trying to improve each and every day, each and every week.
You've obviously lost key players at that level throughout their careers. Have you found collectively the group usually responds, but it's about you putting them in the right situation, or how do you?
Yeah. I think that's the case. It's the NFL, and football in general. You're going to have injuries. You're going to have, hopefully you don't get those things, but it is what it is. That's why the depth is so important on your football team.
Clarence Hill, All City Dallas. So much about the defense, at least talking about the defense this year, was moving Micah around and using him in different spots. How much does that affect what you guys are planning to do, and how did you change to make up for what you can't do with Parsons?
Yeah, well, like last week we played a little bit more right and left. Just, we talked about that last week. But, it's still about, obviously we love to have Mike around, but we don't have him. So we're going to have to figure out some other ways to use some of the other people we have and, try to use their strengths.
Mike Todd with ESPN. Does Overshown have position flexibility to rush the passer at all yet, or is he still so early and it's coming back that you don't want to overload him?
Yeah, the thing with Demo is, he's a run and hit guy. And we're working on getting him in the right place, getting him, right now, trying to get his alignments and adjustments precise. And so, when he gets to that point, he can do some of those things. But, yeah, we'll use him in pressure-wise situation.
John Machota with The Athletic. With Marshawn Nealon, now that you got a chance to see him in 4 games, just what have you liked about what he's been able to do?
A lot like what we saw, when he was in college. He's a hard-playing dude, likes to be physical. He's very coachable, soaks up a lot of the coaching and, things that we're trying to teach him during the week about the game. And really good guy. I'm glad we got him.
Saudis, The Athletic. Mike, McCarthy was just up here talking about the defense being on the field a lot longer than he wants, than would be ideal. How much does that affect how you approach calls on defense, rotation, specifically for guys up front and everything?
Yeah, we probably need to do a little bit better job in some of the rotation things. But, our job is to go out there and try to stop them. And, there's been some third down situations that we haven't done a good job with. So we just got to keep working to get them off the field. That'll in turn help the offense and, complementary football.
Nick Harris, Forward Star Telegram. For Chauncey Golston, how do you think he can approach these added responsibilities, just kind of given his versatility throughout his time?
Yeah, he'll get some more playing time, obviously, if these guys can't play. His length and his size, and he's been good against the run. So, he's going to get some more playing time, and we'll give him some more opportunities in the passing game as well.
And from your perspective, how did the cornerback dilemma kind of play out on Thursday night in the discussion at halftime to put in O'Rourke and how he played?
We knew they were working on our young corner there, so we just had to make a decision there and really what we wanted to try to do. So I thought AO did a nice job when he came in. It's just like everything else. You get injuries, you got to figure out how you can help that particular player. We tried to help him a few times, and so that's really what happened.
Joe Hoyt, All City Dallas. You guys allowed 26 yards on 24 carries, obviously a good run defensive effort. What is just the main takeaway from moving on from that and why that was successful?
Well, we worked real hard at it. I think last week we did a much better job of preparing the players. We took extra time to work on it. We tried to make sure they all knew where they're supposed to be all the time. It really comes down to details again. Yeah, making sure everybody knew where their particular fit was supposed to be.
Dave Lofmark, 105.3 The Fan. Mike, we can kind of see Mozzie's playing better. But from your standpoint, technique-wise, why has he become a better player here? Especially over the last couple of games. Right?
I think the biggest difference, Babe, is that, he's been playing blocks pretty well. He hasn't done as good a job of getting off the blocks and going to make tackles. Last week against the Giants, he pushed the center back quite a few times. There was a couple times he stunted and made some plays. So, that's all the process that myself and Mozzie and the defensive line coaches have to kind of go through, see where, what we can do better with him. But he's always done a pretty good job of playing blocks. Now, part of it, when you're getting double teamed, and like today in the meeting, I tried to show our guys, the nose tackle's getting double teamed. A linebacker comes and takes that double team off. It makes the job a lot easier for the nose tackle. So, it kind of goes around all the way through. So the better these guys can help help other people's jobs as well.
Kyle Yonas, DallasCowboys.com. Coach McCarthy talked about how he's seen a more confident Mozzie Smith. In your experience, how much can one game really impact a player and the way that they propel moving forward?
Well, first of all, I think he's right. I think Mozzie has a lot more confidence right now. When we got to training camp, I'm not sure he had that kind of confidence, but I think it's continued to grow. He's a guy that the more times you catch him doing things right, the better he does things. And so I hopefully he's walking around with his head up and his chest out this week.
Mike, Aaron Kazan's Lone Star Live. Micah was saying in the locker room today that he notices, double teams and blocking, shifting his way. Without the two, stars on the end, how does that change your thought process or your game plan if they're not necessarily attracted to double team?
Yeah, they probably won't do near as much. Each team has their own protection plan kind of going into the ball game, and so we'll see how that goes. But they're not going to stray too much from what they typically do. But obviously, if you got Mike in there, he's going to get extra help with other guys, and that's what we talked to him about that all during training camp. Hey, this is how it's going to be.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. Steelers always seem to find receivers. They have Pickens and those kinds of things. What do you think about the Steelers receiving core when you look at it?
Yeah, I think they're good. They got tight ends that are really, really good. Obviously Pickens is a terrific player. The first thing I noticed when I put the tape on this morning was these guys have a lot of speed too coming off. So it'll be a good test for us.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports. Mike, how much can you take from the fourth quarter of the Ravens game, sort of slowing down a mobile quarterback in Lamar Jackson facing Justin Fields this week in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I mean, they're all different, but Justin's always been a guy that can move around in the pocket. I think he's playing a lot better than he has. He's throwing the ball well. I think he was like 23 of 34 last week, something like that. I think he's doing a good job of taking care of the football as well. But, when we have to be diligent in our pass rush lanes, and, when we get him in those situations, we got to do a good job on the quarterback runs, obviously. So we did a much better job the other night against Daniel Jones when he was running some of the quarterback zone reads. So we're going to have to make sure that we're on our P's and Q's this week.
You'd obviously rather have the best talent in there all the time that
Pardon
you
me?
could. You'd obviously rather have the best talent you could in there all the time.
Everybody would.
Yeah, but is there anything to be said as far as the opponent not knowing what pressures you're going to do, how you're going to go about it, at least early when you're adapting to a major injury like these?
I don't think so. I think they're going to do what they do and figure out what we do when we're doing it.
Mike, you competed against the Steelers for a long time. same division with the Bengals. Is there something about a Steeler game that always rings true when you play against them, regardless of who the coordinator is and regardless of what they have?
Well, obviously, Mike Tomlin's been there a long time, and you know he's a guy that preaches toughness and no excuses, and you know he's always, his teams have always been disciplined. They've always been physical. You know, they've always started with the run game basically, and they've always, and like even when Roethlisberger was there, you know, he could throw the heck out of the ball, but he was a guy that would make big plays down the field as well. So, you know, offensive line was always good. Defense has always been outstanding, so I don't think that's going to change.
All right, thank you.